Hey you guys, how are we all? Happy Saturday. I hope you're all having a good time. So today I'm going to be streaming painting up some of the Bad Squiddo Cursed Treasure sets. So to get these ones started, so last time I was streaming doing these, I was going over everything. First with a sloppy dark grey dry brush. Let's see, is it going to focus if I bring it closer? No, it's not. That would be handy, wouldn't it? I wonder if I poke it, will it focus? No, I should be so lucky. Okay. Oh, maybe it's not the best camera to be doing this. What if I zoom in? How about that? The whole point of me using my phone as a webcam is that it's meant to do everything in focus. This is quite annoying, isn't it? Okay. Stay at this level of focusness. There we go. Okay. So, these have been prepared just by doing a sloppy grey dry brush over them and then a white dry brush over the top of that. And then I have to admit, I went round with some white and picked out some of the gemstones. I'm going to be going over this all. So the plan is we are going to use Hopperlite Gold to go over all the gold coins and stuffs. And then we'll probably need to touch up the white of the gemstones using some white because I'm never quite as tidy as I'd like when I'm doing the gold. And then we'll probably do the brown of our chests and things, probably do the silver, and we'll do the gemstones last of all, but I have a whole array of different army painter speed paints to do the gemstones, and we'll do those last of all. Okay, so let's begin. Well, let me have a sip of coffee and then let's begin. There is nothing that beats a good coffee, eh? Okay. Give it a bit of a shake. Now, ideally, I would have a better brush for doing this. What I would like as a brush is what this brush was like when it was new. But as you can see, in the years, well, probably just months since, I've tapered it down. So it's my equivalent of a brush that will do a decent amount of coverage and hold a decent amount of paint, but at the same time you can still kind of avoid some of the details that you've picked out in white. That is the plot with this brush. You can see as soon as we put the gold on, because it's one of the speed paints, it sinks down into the cracks. So we get the top being a bit brighter and the cracks being a bit darker, and it should give us a texturing and gradient to our gold without us having to do, you know, a base coat, a lighter coat, a dry brush. But to be honest, from my practicing beforehand, I did find that these looked even better with a Vallejo sepia wash over the top, because sometimes I found the gold could look a bit insipid when it dried. We'll see. We'll keep going and I shall leave you to judge. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need to go back over some of those things I did in white. Maybe I should have done the gold first and then come along and highlighted them. Maybe we'll try that next time, eh? Oh, and I'm only doing like a drop at a time of the gold in my paintbrush top, just because it's speed paints and they can settle quite quickly. So I'd rather do a small amount in the top of my paint pot and keep shaking the bottle and coming back and then having properly mixed paint. Just works better for these ones, I find. Okay, this probably needs an even finer brush. Or I do it messily and come back over the top with the white. Either of those are good options. Hey, Harrowbird! Hello, I'm enjoying these painting sessions. I've started painting my Scattertoo, but so far I've only got as far as painting the apples in the baskets. Hey, I should do one of these, of the food supplies. I will add that to my list at some point, but admittedly, you'll probably have finished by the time I get round to doing that. We'll see. We can race each other. I think in a not too distant future, I'll be painting some more of the Modular Realms scenery. Hey, Scar, good morning. How are you doing? Happy Saturday morning. How is life? How are your hands doing nowadays? Like, because it's been just shy of a week, right? Have they healed okay? Yeah, I think after these... actually, before I go back to more Tavern and Dungeon scenery, I actually need to paint some ivy pieces. So possibly that will be our thing for next week. We will see. Better every day. I'm glad to hear it. Good. I can only imagine how annoying it would be to have your hands out of action. Oh, and never mind. I'll just go over it in gold and come back and go over it in white later. But can you see what I mean about it being the gold seems brighter when you first put it on, and then after a while it seems to go a bit fainter? I don't know. You might think not much point putting a wash on that. Better every day, just like your sets. Hey. Oh, thank you. I'm looking forward to when I've got the Kickstarter sets out the way and I've updated the website, as I really need to do, I know. That wasn't aimed at this morning's stuff. There's other stuff that's been on my list for like 6 months and I need to actually get round to doing it. So once I've done that and done the odd jobs, I'm very much looking forward to having some streams where we do some modelling. Because I've been, ever since, I can't remember if, I think it might have been Cooper said in Discord about doing the beds upside down and turning them into market squares, market stalls. And, oh, that's right. And if you're shaking a speed paint, don't take your finger off the top of the bottle when you're mid-shake, because it will go all over your desk. That's fine. Yeah, I've been making like little bread rolls and things like that to make a start on doing a baker's one at some point. One day in the future when I have a bit more time. I think that'd be very cool to be able to turn them into market stalls in the future with like, especially with bits that go in and out, so you can convert them into different things. Yeah. I am very much looking forward to when we can start making those. Do you know, yesterday in the evening, I was coming down the Ender Garden again. Oh, there you go. Last stream we were talking about English people missing articles in their sentences. I missed out down to the end of the garden. I just said down to end of garden. There we go. But anyway, as I was going down to the end of the garden, I could hear a evening song thrush. And oh my gosh, their bird song is beautiful. It's one of those bird songs that you listen to and it genuinely sounds kind of musical. Bakery is an essential part of any D&D town too. Yes, fully agreed. Should be the part of any self-respecting proper town, in my belief. You should be able to get biscuits. Well, do you have biscuits in bakeries? More often it's cakes and things, isn't it? And bread. With my in-laws being French, and we've spent a fair few Christmases, and my gosh, like, bakeries, I think they were saying there's a law that a bakery has to be open on Christmas Eve or something. Man, that just doesn't sound right, does it? When they said it, that there was some sort of law about bakeries having to be open that just seemed ridiculous, but was very, very French and makes sense when you see how much they love their bread. My dad gave me a huge box of Warhammer models to build and paint over Christmas as his 70th birthday present. Wow. I'm enjoying it, but there's so many, and it's the first time where I've actually done painting in batches before. I have to say, I'm not a fan, unless I'm painting for other people, I'm not a fan of doing batch painting. Because, I don't know, I just prefer starting and finishing a thing all in one go. But when you're painting like a large amount of stuff or painting for other people, my gosh, batch painting can be so useful to like have a side project on your desk and then just open a paint pot and use that paint on all of the models that you need to paint, and then closing that paint pot, and that is you done. You know, you've spent an hour or 2 hours on it, and that's you done for today, and you'll come back and do the next paint pot and have it like slowly build up over time. And that is quite satisfying as well. Man, I'm really going to have to go over all this white stuff again. That's okay. Maybe one day I will buy myself a better brush. I'm sure that the speed paints would live up to their name and be a lot speedier if I was using the right brush, because then I'd be able to get a lot more coverage, and because it would be really pointy at the end to be able to do all the fine details around the edge. Yeah, each time I do this, I'm like, oh, I need to get myself some better brushes. And then the next day comes and it's the morning and it's like, oh, should I go to Hobbycraft? Or I could just go and start doing normal work or whatever. And then by mid-afternoon, I'm like, oh, I should do some painting today. Because I'm trying to do about 4 hours of painting every day to like move on with the Kickstarter, the painted tiers, getting them out as soon as possible. So I then move on to do my 4 hours of painting. And then I'm like, oh, I could really do with a better brush. It's like, I normally do too. Yes, I like painting teeny tiny models, details on one model until it's completely finished. Yes, 100%. That is how I like to do it normally. I have to say, it is quite satisfying having the paint, these speed paints, where it goes all into the cracks and things. And it is very satisfying being able to do one layer. Oops. Yeah, see, that's where if I had a better brush, I wouldn't go over the edges there. No, they do say it's a poor workman that blames their tools, eh? Mind you, possibly it's also a sign of a poor workman that doesn't get themselves the proper tools. Oh yeah, I definitely need a better brush. What I like about these treasure sets is you really don't need to use them all at the same time. You can save different ones for different like module completions. And I like the idea of making, you know, for that one, that Warhammer is going to have special properties and this or that, so that they can get cool weapons and things that they see in the treasure. And at some point, I will start making magic items for these. One day. At the end of a very long list. I actually first need to finish all the magic items for the Strangled Goose adventure. I'm never quite sure, because sometimes I do adventures and people are like, oh, it's such a good adventure, oh, it's so great. And then other people will say, oh, I don't really read other people's adventures. So I'm never quite sure how much of a draw or not it is. But I will say one thing is that I'm going to be submitting the Adventure of the Strangled Goose, like the terrain, scenery, and adventure set as a UK Games Expo. So they do a you can submit your products as for the UK Games Expo awards, and I will submit the adventure and the terrain set and scenery, like the whole thing in its box, for the UK Games Expo Awards this year. And we shall see if that, maybe, I'm hoping that having like the set, the box, the terrain, the scenery, the adventure, and the adventure being like showing how to use the scenery in an interactive way, I'm hoping that that might be enough to get me something. We'll see. And if so, that could be like a cool thing to use to market the terrain sets in the future, or to get us some publicity. We'll see. Then I think it's next... Is it next weekend? Holy shit, is it next weekend? My friends are... This time next week, I'm meant to be playing the game with my friends, like the recorded draft, like recording, playing the game with friends, and then editing it to show people like a playthrough. Yeah, I'm meant to be filming that next weekend. I should really finish those monster stats, eh? I'd vote for you. Hey, oh, thank you. I think it's a fantastic idea. Hey, oh, thank you. I hope it works. We'll see. It could be super useful. It could be really great. We'll see. And you know what? With this... Actually, I should have a small brush to do this. So, with the small brush, I'm just going to do the detail around the edge there, if I can. And I'm also going to follow just the ridges on the crown there, because I see that the crown needs pearls on it, but also gold just around the bottom and on those ridges. We'll let sink in there. Oh, I just realised I'm not used to using it yet. Was it last week? I made a magnet on a stick that I can now attach models to, so I don't have to be handling them with my fingers and messing up the paint as often. I made it by a dowel piece of wood that I found on my desk. I don't know where it came from, so I can't tell you where to get it. But I found it on my desk, and a magnet that I actually also found, well, not on the desk, on the floor. And then some super glue. Hi Annabelle, great job on the paint so far. Awesome stick. Thank you. Appreciate that, Limero. Hey. I have to admit the stick is actually genuinely handy. I'm not used to using one, but it does make things easier at times. Huh! My go-to is blue tack on top of a Pritt stick. That is a cool idea. Yes. And that would be useful because it doesn't have to work on magnetic stuff. Yeah. Oh, god damn it, I'll just go over the top with white. Yeah, I think what we're learning here is it's better to do the gold first and then come back and make everything white over the top, rather than doing the white first, then the gold over the top of the white, and then the white back over the top. I feel like I'm dual-wielding brushes. What do you reckon? Does that count as a feat? Try not to drop your model if you can. Can you hear the wood pigeons in the background? I'm very lucky that I get a decent, oh, look at that. Messy, messy, messy. That's fine. That's fine. As I say, we'll go back and do the white over the top. It's very fixable. But my office is in a very lucky position for birdsong, being at the end of the garden and with quite a few trees around it. So you get quite a few birds that sit in the trees and then start singing directly above or around my office, and it's very nice. Hey Vit, welcome in. How are you doing? I struggle with fingers for uneven bases. Yes. Yes. Ooh, we have been spotting tits today. Vit, you could get in trouble for that. What kind? So my therapist is American, lives in Florida, and every now and then I'll talk about, you know, there being, because I sometimes get distracted and like look at birds outside the office, and I'm like, oh sorry, got distracted by a great tit or something, and she just finds it incredibly funny. Great tits and cold tits, nice. Do you know, I think we had cold tits this autumn, and it was the first time I have seen cold tits in our garden. We get blue tits, great tits, long-tailed tits, something else that I can't remember, but not cold tits for the first time this autumn. Comes along tool proficiency in paintbrushes. Yes. Yes, this is Hopper Like Gold at the moment. So I was inspired by your asking about speed paints. And it's quite annoying to try and change it. But just out of screen shot, there are all the speed paints ever. And I thought I'd have a go at speed painting a treasure set. And then I could speed paint the treasure set and tell you which ones I actually used. And you can see them like being used in, in real life, on the job, whatever. You can see them being used and decide for yourself which colour you prefer in that. That was the cunning plot. On the job has two meanings. Do not Google. I mean, I'm not going to lie. As soon as this stream is over, unless I've forgotten, I will be Googling. I did not know. I only know on the job as in while you're working, like learning on the job or that sort of thing. Huh. Interesting. It's a whole great tit scenario all over again. I thought from the way you wrote that was probably the case. But I can't think of... It's not something I've come across, and I'm curious as to the exact... I'm guessing... Well, we don't need to know what I'm guessing. I will go and Google it later. How are you? I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Slept better the last few nights. I've moved my mattress. Well, not mattress, like the mattress topper off the bed onto the floor. So for the last 3-4 nights, I've been sleeping on the floor, and it's so much better. So much better. Because the mattress that I'm sleeping on, I have no idea. It could be about, I don't know, 20, 25 years old, something like that. And it's, one of those mattresses that has been slept on so much it kind of sinks down in the middle. So when you sleep on it, you kind of end up being like a banana. And yeah, anyway, I get horrific hip ache from it. And so I've recently started sleeping on the floor, and it's really nice. Yeah, how is Scar and how is Harabed? And how is Vit? Oh, god damn it. Another one of those gems I've gone over. Yeah. Seriously, guys, do the gold first and then go over everything in white. Don't do the white then gold. I need to get better brushes. Nice. Fit is okay. Going to call the AA this afternoon for a car lights issue. Ah, fun. Is it something you can fix yourself through YouTube? Harabed is great. As much fun as Christmas is, I'm glad it's out the way and we got him back to normal. Yes, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I love Christmas, but I do kind of... especially since the brain injury, actually, is I don't really like the disruption to my routine. Not that I always have a great routine, but you know what I mean? Like, it's a very busy, interrupting-y month. And sometimes it's nice to sort of get back into just the rest of the year. It's funny because pre-brain injury, I was so into Christmas. Like, I knew whatever day of the year it was, I knew how many days it was until Christmas, because I'd always be counting down. And then come the start of December, I'd put 3 new hair bits in my hair. And at the time I had long hair, so I had long plaits. And then about the 12th, I'd have to fork it into 2 plaits because it was too much to fit on one. And then at around the 20th, it would get too heavy for my head with all the bells and the metal and stuff. So I had to loop it over the top of my head so that the gravity was having it over the top. And yes, a different Christmas jumper every day of the month. I was so into Christmas. And then since the brain injury, it's like I enjoy decorating the tree with Mum. I enjoy the food. But I enjoy when we're back to normal. You know, Christmas, it feels like more of a faff than it did when I was younger, pre-brain injury. I suspect it's because I became more neurodivergent after the brain injury. Like, I've always been ADHD, but like after the noggin knock, I became particularly like sensitive to sensory overload. Like, my neurodiversity just went up a lot. And then it came back down after several months, but it never went back to the baseline. And I think it's probably that causes a large part of it. Although, who knows, because post-brain injury I had quite a few, like, personality changes. So maybe it's part of that. Oh, was that a real rainstorm in the background of your video this week? Well, when I was filming it, there was a rainstorm in the background, but you couldn't really hear it that much. But you could hear when I, like, cut. So there was, I think there was something where I said it once and then said it again. And so I cut to the bit where I first said it, so it just had it saying it again. And then it was like the weird quiet in the background. So then I got a rainstorm sound effect and then layered it over everything in the background so that when the sound went off or whatever, went to quietness, it wasn't so noticeable. Plus, I find that I just like rain background sound effects. Maybe I should get one going in this stream. Probably should. Mind you, it's enough faff trying to get all the cameras working. So I started, like, when I messaged in Discord, 40 minutes before stream is when I started, like, trying to get the cameras set up and da-da-da-da-da. And it's a pain in the ass. So I had to close everything down, shut the PC, restart it, da-da-da-da-da, and got it working. I wonder... I really need to set aside a day just to sort out all the streaming stuff. But I tell you what, I will do it around February probably, because I'm going to focus more of my time on getting all the painting and stuffs done. 5 birthdays in addition to holiday mayhem between Thanksgiving and Christmas. That is a lot. Busy times. I appreciate the aftermath. Apparently the birdsong background sound is 512 megahertz, which is particularly soothing. I've heard, and I don't know if it's true, but someone, an evolutionary scientist, putting forth the theory that the reason that humans often find birdsong so relaxing is that it's a sign of a healthy forest ecosystem. And having evolved from being hunter-gatherers and stuff, where when the forest went quiet and there was no birdsong, it often meant there was a predator or whatever. Humans evolved to feel birdsong as, like, particularly peaceful and relaxing because it gave them a subconscious feeling of safety. And I have no idea if that's true or not, but it sounds plausible. Kiddo has asked for rain sounds at bedtime, but he has to watch the video on my phone at the same time, so I lose my phone for the evening. Oh no. Annoying, but probably quite good for your mental health. Or just, you know, not being able to doom scroll on social media in the evening as much. Because I find, even if I'm like watching TV with the family or whatever, I am still on my phone a lot of the time, and it can't be good to be splitting my attention that way. Makes sense? Yeah, makes sense. Whether it's true, no idea. But it sounds reasonable. Okay, are you ready for the next part of the stream? Because I have been waiting all stream to do something very exciting. Get ready for this. So we'll move these over here. And here's one I prepared earlier. In true Blue Peter style. I actually prepared one beforehand. Absolutely ready. I got overwhelmed at Christmas and spent 3 days mostly in bed asleep. I feel that. I feel that. Yes. And I'll just check if there's anywhere I've left the gold not done. I think I've mostly got it. I'm mainly asking because I've got a bit more gold in my pot. You know me, I always like to use every last dreg of paint that I possibly can. Where missed paint? Not really. Oh, might as well put it on the crown, eh? Let's put it on the crown. Ta-da! I see the details much better in your recent paints. Good contrast, eh? I know it looks like it's blending in and hiding for the moment, but we will bring it back out in a bit. Okay. Oh, yes and no, parents have a very little time to themselves. Kids' bedtime is often the only time you can get time to yourself to catch up on fun things like TikToks or whatever, videos or podcasts on your phone. That makes sense. Okay. I am now gonna do the brown of those chests, I think. We will start with satchel brown, but I'm going to water it down. So I'm going to try and do 2 drops of satchel brown 4. Let's see. 2 drops of water? Nope, 1 drop of water, but don't worry. We can get some more. Oh, it would help if you put some water in your water pot, wouldn't it? Okay. And then another thing of water, another drop. There we go. Lovely. The magnetic stick holder click noise is very satisfying. It is, right? It is. That is a good at least 5% of why I use it. Okay, I might have watered this brown down a bit too much. But that's okay. If that's the case, we'll do 2 layers. I find if I put the satchel brown on neat, then you often don't see some of the details because it's just so dark and thick. So by watering it down, you can often see the texture of the wood and such a bit better. But I may have gone a bit overboard. We'll see. I think I probably did water it down a bit much. We'll see. And we'll just leave that. Okay, pretty sure I have overwatered down the brown, but oh, do you know what? I'm going to add a drop of ruddy fur to it. Oh, it's magnetic. I missed that. Yes, I stuck a magnet to the end of a stick with some super glue, and it makes things easier to... Like, I've never been a stick holder person when painting minis, but I tried it last week when I was doing one of the videos. And I was like, it does actually help me not get my fingers on the edges of the model while it's still wet. Okay, I shall add a drop of ruddy fur to our brown. Let's see. If that makes... Oh, yeah. Although I do note I've got a long bit of fluff on the end of my brush that went on the model. Let's see if we can move that fluff away. Very nice. Just draw that up again a bit. Lovely. Hey! Well, that's not handy, is it? Just wondering if there's anywhere else I can put some brown. I'll try this egg, the timer, the hourglass. Oops. Hey! Well, that's a good thing. One of the new settings that I did on my phone has done it so that when I get messages from family, it doesn't pop up on screen. something there succeeded. Okay, I think that will need a second coat in a wee bit. How long do these take to dry? I'm sure that's not dry yet. It's probably not. Give it another 5 minutes. Give it another 5 minutes, Hannibal. But now I've got a whole bunch of brown that you can't see that's just there that I want to use on something. Let it go. Oh, it's so hard to let ink go. Try do that second layer. Got to head off. It was lovely to catch a stream again. It was lovely to have you, Harabed. See you later. Thank you for coming and have a good rest of your Saturday. I hope to see you again soon at some point. When the stars align. Nice. Okay. I'm going to dab up the ink, because if I don't, I'm going to use it on something that doesn't need to be used on. So we shall leave it there for the brown. Okay, now I want to do a grey for the throne. Let me just check if I've got a grey. Blue, grim black, gunner camo, dark greyish green, no. Desolate brown, no. Noble skin, no. Tyrian navy, maybe? What's that? Blackish blue grey. Occultist cloak. Let's do a cultist cloak, a blackish blue grey for our throne. Haven't used this one before, so give it an extra shake. Oops, oh, and it's spilt everywhere. Excellent. Well done. Oops. Okay. Oh, this is very dark. I mean, to be fair, they did say blackish blue-grey, so kinda what were you expecting? Profesh. Oh, and then did you see that? My brush got caught to the magnet, so useful to know. I will keep the metal part of the brush away from that. This again is where really I should be using a much bigger brush to get more coverage quicker. How's that for more paint? Hmm. Hey. Not bad. Maybe a bit dark for a throne. We can always come back. Although, to be honest, it could be some sort of obsidian. Or darker. It does look like quite an evil dude, so they might have quite a dark throne. Other option is Gravelord Grey. Ah, I don't have Gravelord Grey. I was just looking, and I'm severely understaffed in the grey department. Wonder about doing a grey pot. Could do a grey pot and then do a bit of like gold or whatever around the outside or detailing afterwards. We'll give it a go and see what we think. If we hate it, we'll paint over it. And just holding it upside down so that the, wet speed paint doesn't immediately go down into the gold and then like seeping between them. So I'm just going to keep it upside down for half a second more. Yeah. We'll see. Okay. I feel like now would be a good time to make a start on some of the silver. So this is broadsword silver. We shall see how it works. Interesting. It's quite dark for a silver. Is this really it? It seems incredibly dark for a silver. Maybe it's right, and maybe it'll dry lighter or something. Let's see. So it's not looking super silver. Well, okay, that bit does, but a lot of it looks like quite dark for silver. But we'll see how it is when it dries. It could be. If this is as dark as it remains, it could be that I'm doing a dry brush over the top in a brighter metal colour. I am highly suspicious of this silver. It does say silver. Maybe I just haven't shaken it enough? We're going to try shake it a whole bunch more and see if that makes a difference. I have a metal wand for canning. I wonder if it's strong enough to work. I have a metal wand for canning. You don't see a lot of silver, copper, platinum, etc. in hoards. Fair. Okay. Give it even more of a shake. It picks up lids from boiling water. Ah, I see. Right, yes, that makes sense. We used them in the chemistry lab for getting stirrer bars out of the bottom of round bottom flasks. Okay, let's have another look. Is it still the same? Really? So that's the colour it's meant to be, is it? Alright, well, we'll do the shield in that colour because I was thinking it's quite a nice colour for a shield, a sort of dark silvery, and then we can do the lines on the shield later in a brighter colour if we so desire. I was thinking like a gold or a coppery colour. And I'll just do the back side of it. I don't know, it's kind of silver, but it's... Maybe it will dry a different colour. It's the only silver speed paint I've got, I think. Interesting. Tell you what, I'm going to see how that dries before I go round using more of it. Because I'm just a bit suspicious. I wonder if we'd be better off just using a normal silver. So we'll see how that all dries. Let's see. Well, while that's drying, I might get some white and start picking out the gemstones and things. I was really hoping I could do this guy in silver. Well, we'll see how it dries. Using a normal white. There's a gemstone there. I think there's a gemstone. Yep, there it is. It's definitely worth doing the going over in white. A, because it helps me later when I'm like deciding to paint to see where all the gemstones and such are. But B, also to make the colours shine really nicely. Very interested in the gemstones, eh? Well, once I've gone round and done the white on everything, we can come back and do the gemstones. Oops. Bit of white going up on his chest, that's no good. Will that get rid of it? Kind of smeared it more than got rid of it, but that's fine. By the way, what do you think of the new camera angle? So rather than doing a top-down camera, it's more... so you can see... Oh, oh no, that's this, isn't it? Right, well, it's basically... The camera's basically where my eye line is and slightly to the left, as in I'm peering round the camera when I'm looking and doing the painting. So I was hoping that it would be easier to see what I'm doing, because it's... I tend to paint so that I can see what I'm doing anyway. So if the camera's where my eyes are, it might be easier than the top-down one. You'll have to tell me how you find it, because a lot of the time, for example now, I'm not looking at the screen, so I don't know what it really looks like. I think there's a gem just there. Gotcha. Any more for any more? Oh, yep, there we go. Thought there was another one. Gotcha, you little bugger. And I think that's it. Good view. Hey, okay, excellent. Then I shall keep this going for the next streams. Hey. Oops. I see one there. Another one there. One there. Yeah, this is where we could do with some atmospheric rain effects, eh? It's funny how, like, when you're using certain parts of your brain, it's harder to do the talking at the same time. I think when I'm concentrating, like, close up on some of the smaller gems and stuff, it's when I'm, like, really focused that it's quite difficult to do the talking at the same time as, or to keep up a conversation, shall we say. It's interesting because usually I think, oh, well, it's harder to keep up a conversation when you're using the listening, you know, words and language part of your brain. But when I'm doing this, I'm not really doing much in the way of language. It's all visual. And yet, it's still hard to do both at the same time sometimes. I wonder if your brain just has a sort of operating capacity. A bit like when you go into Task Manager and something's using up all the RAM. I wonder if it's like that. Bet it is. Works well at this end of stream. Hey! Well, that's the thing, is a lot of people listen. Like, I imagine that most people, if not everyone watching this stream, isn't solidly watching it. Like, they're doing housework or normal, like, job work, you know, busy work, or I don't know, or painting themselves, but just I think it's rare that folks are exclusively watching / listening to the stream and nothing else at the same. To be honest, as I say that sounds absolutely ridiculous that anyone would be just focusing solely on the stream and not watching or listening or doing anything else in the background. I don't know anyone that consumes content like that. Maybe back in the day with books. So when you're doing other stuff, it's quite useful to have a stream that can be intermittent at times, I'm sure. Like, not a constant conversation that you have to keep engaging in. Something that it's okay if you miss a bit, or you tune out, or you go and make yourself a sandwich, or all that sort of thing. I am cutting out a work surface for a double sink. Hey, there we go. Yes. That's why chatter is good. A bit of backgroundness. You wait, Sky. You wait till I start doing the world building streams again. Then the background chatter is going to be top quality. Sorry, I ruined that by laughing, didn't I? But when we do world building streams, we usually go down a lot of different rabbit holes, and it does make for good conversation. Or at least conversation that I enjoy. There's one. There's one. Do we see any more gems? Yes. Here. There. It is off the chart map plot. Yes, off the plot. I like that. Yes. Then our next one. How is overworked apprentice elf and overgrown dwarf? They're good. They're good. Going to visit my brother and his wife and their son tomorrow for a few days. And I shall be holding the fort. But they're good. Mum is at work at the garden centre. Oops. God, that could have gone wrong, couldn't it? Let's get the white off my hand. En français? Indeed. Have they left you food? You know my mum, don't you? Yes. Yes. I have access to a car. I have legs. I have a debit card that admittedly is rather light, but I have money and supermarkets. And Mum is leaving some food. Knew it! Yes, right? Yes. I mean, I suspect that she knows that if left to my own devices, I will not be eating healthily. And it's definitely one of Mum's love languages, is trying to feed people she loves nourishing food. Like, not just tasty food, but it has to be nourishing. So she often looks up, like, different nutrition things, and she will tell me, oh, you need, I don't know, more of this kind of food because you need more vitamin E because you're a woman of this age, or you're doing this or that, or, like, she actually really researches it and does it properly. We don't just have 5 fruit and veg with every day. No. We have 30 different things each week, at a minimum. Magnesium for your sleep? Could be. To be honest, Mum, she left school at 16, but she really could have been a scientist if she went down the food nutrition route, because that is her passion and she is good at it. Alas, she wanted to be a food nutritionist, but was told not to by her mother, because her mother said that Mum, overworked to apprentice herself, had to learn to be a typist, because there will always be jobs for secretaries, but there wouldn't be jobs for food nutritionists. I don't know, I always find it sad when someone gets, like, persuaded out of pursuing their passion and into something that they're not passionate about. And especially as Mum isn't a secretary. She was for a few years, but that hasn't been her job for all her life, and it's certainly not been a job that's been around easy to get all your life, because this thing called computers started to come into effect. And that really changed a lot of the way that the world of work was structured. But still, even if she hasn't, like, gone away to study it, she does, like, read books and podcasts and all of that, and she does study food nutrition. And even if she doesn't do, like, a proper restaurant or anything like that, me and Dad, we get the benefits. I have it in my head she could be a computer programmer. Is that ridiculous or sane? Well, Mum used to be the IT technician at my school. So when I was growing up, that would have been the early noughties and, like, early 2000s. So computers were just kind of being a thing. Dad used to work for Microsoft, so he knew about computers. We had computers relatively early, so Mum, she was originally a teaching assistant at school, but she became their IT technician and IT coordinator and, like, set up all the servers and computers and all of that. But after she left the world of IT, she has not really kept up with it. And, you know, so she, for example, first taught me how to use Control-C and Control-V, like copy and paste. But a few months ago, I was showing her how to do it, because she'd been out of the world so long she'd forgotten. And there's quite a few computer things where I know she's capable and she can do it, but she asks, like, she says she can't do it, or she asks for help and stuff. And I think that maybe it's just not interesting to her. So maybe if it was something she was passionate about, I think she could be a computer programmer. But I just don't think she cares to. And I think without the passion, there's very little chance of Mum ever being a computer programmer. I mean, even Dad, he's been out of IT for a while now, and I don't know if he would be much of a programmer. I've coded more than he has in the last year or so, and I am not a coder, or at least I never was, but now I've started to become a bit of one. And I did try to go to Dad for help with code about 6 months ago, and he wasn't able to help. So I think like a lot of things, these are skills that like if you don't use them over time, they start to atrophy. Much like my muscles. If it had more sausages in it, but healthy sausages, exactly, not the ones with nitrates. No nitrates, Vit. You just investigate it when you need to use it, I think. Yes. GitHub. Yeah, GitHub is a thing that I really need to get like more on board with how it works and start using it myself. Because I occasionally go to GitHub for like random apps or something that I want that are open source, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. But I've not got to the point of like posting anything on GitHub, and at some point I should. Maybe when I finish my DM companion. The DM companion that I'm working on, it's super handy. So once you've finished your game on Discord, it then saves all the recorded audio and then transcribes it and then makes a transcript of your session. And in the future, once I have more time to go back to working on it, it will, after each session, like do a summary of what happened in the session, point out, what health people are on, and if there are any magic items that need updating in their character sheets or that sort of thing. And it should also be really helpful going with once I like plug it into my DM notes to when I'm planning the next game to be like, oh, this is the thing that happened. You have these outstanding, like, someone is cursed, someone is paralyzed or whatever, these outstanding things that are happening, like just to make it really easy when you start writing. It's part of my not getting the AI to do the writing or any of the personal parts of D&D, but to do the admin stuff that I can't be asked to do myself. Once I get it working, it should be an amazing app once it finally is working. Maybe it would be worth sharing, we shall see. I note that there are some gold pieces there that I haven't covered in gold. I shall come back to those later. I also was going to try and work, maybe even this afternoon, on... You remember how I started setting up that bot that would, like, go through Discord and be like, oh, you could turn this update you gave people into a social media post or something like that, to, like, remind me to post stuff on social media and, like, go through the stuff that I've already been posting on Discord and just be like, make this public. And I got, like, yay far with it, and then it wasn't doing such a great job. I never got it fully set up. And then I got distracted by other stuff for however many months it's been. And with Claude Code coming, like, having a bit of a renaissance thing over the Christmas holidays, I have been thinking that I should have another go with it. So maybe this afternoon we will give it a go. Just checking, seeing if there's any more that I've missed. Not that I can see, although I see there's a gold coin I need to come back and do. Is that one? Not sure. Do it anyway. Can't see any more. Lovely. Wait, is that? No. Lovely. Okay. There's one. That's definitely one. Hey! Carrie-Anne Law! Hey, how are you doing? Hey. Which paintbrushes are you using? I'm painting a troll, but my brush is rubbish. So, at the moment, I'm using a Revel brush, basically Hobbycraft. So, well, I don't know if all Hobbycrafts are laid out, but when you go in my Hobbycraft, on the right, they have a whole thing of brushes. And in the bottom right, they have... Oh... That's fine. These brushes that are triangular, and they usually have good ends. You can see that this one I've clearly had a while because I've trimmed it back. And in fact, even this one you can see I've trimmed, because I have this horrible habit of leaving my brushes like that in the water pot and then they go... So they're usually like partway through being trimmed down. But I will be getting more brushes from Hobbycraft tomorrow. And I would highly recommend you get this brush, which is basically a small pointy one. And I am a big fan of this brush for dry brushing. Flat shader. It is just incredibly good. I like it very much. And it's also useful for getting in some of the small places, but also just covering everything. Do we see any more? Any more gemstones? Any more for any more? Is that one? Okay. Well, in that case, we will use the last of the white, doing those pearls. Damn it, you got my mouth popping along. Yes, sorry, I didn't ask, does anyone want any of the sound effects? Oh no, a bit too much. That's okay. I can put some gold back over the top of that. Thanks. I've never cut down a brush. Do you just cut off the hairs that are at an angle? Yes. I use... Right, well, I cannot see one. But a scalpel, basically. Really? I know, I have like 1,000 scalpel blades always. Ah, here we go. And I cut from the base like that. And hang on, let me just see if I've got a brush that could do with chopping down. Okay, let's say this brush at the moment, that bit here is irritating me. So I will take it down so I know where it is, pull it to the side, and then usually cut at the base like that. Oh, and I've left one hair, so let's go back and get that hair there if I can. And there, the hair is gone. And then that's how I cut it down each time there's an annoying bit that sticks out the side. And eventually you get really thick brushes that end up like being teeny tiny ones. Until eventually they just need to go. Hey, no worries. It is really handy for getting extra life out of your brushes. Oh, look at that. You can just move your brush along the top. That's much easier. Yeah. Nice. And a couple more. And a little bit there. Lovely. Smashing. Can we see any more gemstones on here that need to be painted white? I can't. No, I think that's it. Lovely. Hey. Oh yeah, that's right, I've got a cough. Oh, it's going to be stone cold now. Definitely stone cold. Cold. But still coffee. I'm wondering now, because normally I do the silver around the edges of that before. No, I'm going to do the rest of the silver not with a speed paint. Because, no, I'll do that dude with silver speed paint. And then, when I get the silver out to do the rest of it, I can then do highlights on him. That's how we'll do it. Sorry, I'm talking a bit cross purposes. Basically, I've been trying to do this all with the speed paints, but I found that the speed paint broadsword silver is quite dark. So what I will do is do the broadsword silver speed paint on that dude's armour, and then come back with a silver, like, normal paint to go over the top with some highlights just to make it look better. I like silver working from black to a scraping of silver. Yeah. Yeah, I think definitely silver, like non-metallic silver over the top, I think will make a big difference. Oh, is it? Oh, that is interesting. Right, I honestly thought their broadsword silver would match their... well, this one's elven silver, so, or shining silver, but... plate mail metal? I don't know, I thought it would be more like this sort of silver, but it's actually really, really dark. Remember, I'm much darker in my painting generally. That's true, that's true. So we've given it a good old shake. And we shall do this dude's armour. And sword. Maybe, I wonder if the sword will look cool with the runes or something. Don't know. We shall test this out. But see what I mean? Unless it is going to dry super light, which the other ones didn't really. It is just a very dark metal. And definitely blends in with the back of the throne, so we'll definitely want to use some silver, like non-speed paint silver over the top to make it shine a bit better. It's almost bluish, I find, this one. There we go. Lovely. Yeah, silver dry brush over the top of this is going to make a world of difference to this dude. I can just tell. But still, not bad for a base coat. You do get a little bit of a metal sheen from him. If I don't... Oh, I haven't done the inside of his sword. Good gravy. There we go. Nice. Okay, well, might as well with the last bits of this paint. So on a couple of pieces, actually we'll start with the sword. Just to take the excess paint off. On a couple of pieces, there are little bits of chain buried in the treasure. So we'll do this to give them a bit of a darker base coat and so we can see them. And then I will come back later and put the silver on the top. We'll also do that for this dude's helmet. Scully McSkullface. Okay. Are there any... Well, I know there are some others. Which are the others that have a bit of chain? Not this one. This one. Definitely going to have to come and do some final touch-ups with the gold afterwards. Not this one. Not this one. This one. Okay. Hey, don't throw it. What about this one? Well, round the edge of the bowl, there's this bit. So I might as well do it as a sort of base coat. Fit, can I ask you, are you Bill on Instagram? The reason I ask, so here's a random thing, is for the last, I don't know, at least a year, I think, someone who I have no idea, yes, it is you! There we go. Do you know, I have been wondering who it was for ages. Eating like a hobbit, yes! Ah, excellent. I've been wondering who it was, because, like, at first, I just thought it was like a random like spam or something, so I wasn't. And then I was like, hang on, because it just felt like it might be you. I didn't know, but I wondered if it was. And then I just have kept it just, you know, silent. Apart from occasionally reacting to them, because I was like, I wasn't quite sure who it was. Yes, D&D memes and such. Exactly. Yes, yes. A mystery solved. Nice. Shall we do the entire bowl in silver? I wonder. For now, we'll do the entire bowl in silver, and we can come back and change it if we don't like it in the end. Out of context of who is sending them, I hope it was not weird. And silly things I see that I think will make you smile. Hey, yeah. Not weird, but for the first like 6 months or something, I was a little bit nervous because I've been dealing separately with someone being a bit finding me in different places online, but it didn't feel like that. But there was a part of me at the back of my mind going, you should probably find out who this is at some point. But so it wasn't, you know what it was, like outside context made me a little bit uncertain, but I got the vibe of them, so I thought it was either you or someone like you. I should have said, oh no, I assumed it was like, I don't know, a secret account or something. I don't know. I assumed because the person hadn't introduced themselves that they probably wanted, yeah, exactly, anonymity or something, which is also why I hadn't brought it up to you before, and probably why I should have brought it up not on stream. But hey, here we are. Okay. Oh, and I should probably do, while I'm still doing silver, I should do those edges, right? That's what I said. I have to run and help my mother with an app for groceries. Fair. I'll catch the rest as VOD squad. Thanks for the chatter. Pleasure, Scar. See you later. Good luck with the app and the groceries. Right, what was I doing? Oh yes, the hinges. Actually, this is quite a good silver for the hinges, because it's a bit dark and gross, which kind of works for an old chest. We need to say super nice things about Scar so they see it in VOD Squad. Yes! What a wonderful person they are and a super online grocery shopper. Yes! Someone very encouraging. I appreciate it, Scar. All the, like, posting and just being part of this. I really... yeah, thank you. And especially when you're pointing out things, like with the online store earlier, that helps me fix stuff or suggest stuff. It is helpful. No, I tell you what, I can't wait till I send Scar her set. Like, I think she's going to really enjoy it, and I'm going to really enjoy the effects, I hope. The effects. It makes it sound like some sort of drug or something. The effects of Modular Realms terrain may include hysterical outbursts of excited squealing. Can't think of any others. Occasional foot damage when you step on it in the middle of the night. Though, to be honest... actually, no. I have had that once where I stood on a spike trap. And that did hurt. Which, to be honest, I guess is good design? So that hag that I painted was from Army Painter, and they base coated it silver and then put a mid-brown wash over it, and it looked a bit brass. The Annabelle effect. More fun. Doobie. That was a bit too much paint on my brush, but it's fine, we got around it. Just do a little bit on the lock. The chains themselves, I'm gonna just do the silver dry brush over them, because I think if I put this metal, it's gonna seep through and like start affecting the wood. So we shall leave it there for those. And then I will just do the hinges on the side of this chest. Hinges? Well, hinges and metal bands. Oh my, saw those and thought, ouch, they won't break. I've never broken one, but I have received one from the manufacturer broken, so they definitely can. But they didn't when I stepped on it. More the pity. I was thinking at some point I want to do a video of, I was thinking using a hot glue gun to turn the spikes into like fire instead and turning it into a fire trap. That could be fun. Nice. And that one I want a different colour. Yep. I think I'm happy to leave it there now. Alrighty. Cannot test the Hagstall Cauldron on stream, but it was super interesting, I have to say. Oh, this would be good for a Hag Cauldron, actually. Nice dark metal. And the mid-brown would not interfere with the rest of the wood. Interesting. Alright. Oops. There we go. Attached to my brush. Very handy. Almost at gem starting time. But before we do gem starting time, well, first I shall wash my brush and do a little bit of skeleton bone just to go over the parchment scrolls and the inside of an hourglass. So, to begin with, the hourglass. Nope, wrong end. Okay, now, parchment scrolls. There's one. Does it need any touching up? Honestly, it looks fine. No, I don't think it does need touching up. Alright, but that one does. There. Oh. Hang on, we're about to have a visitor. Oh, thank you, Dad. Thank you.
Still streaming?
Yeah. Painting some treasure. There. I think I remember Copper and need training on how to add magnets and... Hey! Oh, well, I will send your hello after stream when I go back to see him. Because he's halfway down the garden now. Gosh darn lag. Need training on how to add magnets and ferrous strips. Yes! I should do a training video on that. Yes! Man! I need to... Bernard's watch, that's what I need. I need Bernard's watch. painting first, though, before how to add extras? Yes, I think so. Yeah. Because I could get so distracted in videos on like how to mod your terrain and stuff. Especially as there's a whole bunch of mods that I want to try and haven't done yet. But you're right. Painting first, for sure. Okay. Any other parchment needing a touch-up? Do you need a touch-up? No. Do you need to be touched up? No. Do you need to be touched up? Oh, yes, you do. Ha 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 ha. I thought as much. Smashing. Lovely. Okay. Oh! But there's also, somewhere, skull faces. Not there. Here's one. While I've got skeleton bone out, let's use it on some proper skeletons. Don't worry, when I touch it up with the silver, we will fix up any of the lines I'm going over. So there's there. One of them has a skeleton face, like, in the metal. Where is it? One of them, I know I have seen a skeleton face. Here we go, this one. Quite hard to spot if you don't know it's there. When the time comes, we shall put a wash on that, and then it will stand out. Not perfectly, because there's a whole bunch of gold around it, but better. Okay, now let's do this skeleton face. And again, any bits that we go over the edge will be fixed when I do the silver dry brush. Wow, yeah, I'm really going to need to come along with that silver, aren't I? That's okay. Yeah, we'll fix that with the silver. I think those are not finger bones, but are leather gloves. But I'm wondering about painting them bone-like anyway, just because I feel like it will look cooler on the throne. Oh, unless you put it on the throne underneath. Can we get rid of it that way? Yeah, close enough. You'd never know. Hey. Okay. Now we can move on to some of the nice brighter colours. But first I'm going to have a sip of my coffee. Oh, exciting. Oh, and it's hot. All right. Let us start with some red. Why not? Start with a crown. So this is poppy red that I'm going to use. Give it a heck of a shake as usual. We'll use it for the red velvet of the crown and I think a few rubies. So, oops. Some poppy red. Oh, very much loaded up my brush there, maybe a bit too much. So at this point I find when you start adding colour is when everything starts to come to life, I find. Then, let's see, I think that gem there could do with being a ruby. And this is where the speed paints really come into their own, because can you see how it's kind of doing the facets of the gem? Which makes it a lot easier and quicker to do a lot of gem painting all at once. What I try and do is, with whichever colour I'm using, so at the moment it's red, I try and not do more than a couple of gems in the same colour. Just so, and on each piece I mean, so that we can spread it out and have everything look very colourful. So, 2 rubies there. Do a ruby back here. Why not do this big one? Why not? Ah, you can see I had a bit too much paint on my brush when I did this, because it's gone round into some of the gold round there. I wonder if I can pick some of it up if I dry my brush and then put it there. Does it... I think I'm just going to have to go over that area later. No, annoying, but there we go. These things in life were sent to try us. Make this one a nice ruby. Oh, or skip water on it. No, I think that moment might have passed. But I'll come back and do some gold. Oops, gone a bit over the edge, but that's fine. Kind of looks like there's two of them. And then lastly, this one. Oh, I know. No. I was going to do the cloth, or I assume that's cloth red, but no, I'm going to do it a different, even if it is red, a different shade of red, because I don't want it to get confused with these. I think I will leave it there for the red. Oh, such a shame, there's more red on the bottle. Could this use one? Sorry, just doing a secret side piece. Just so I can use up a bit of the red. So just a bit less gets wasted. There's a whole bunch of rubies over here, surely. Don't mind me. Well, that's not handy. Okay. Is there a super secret side piece? Yes. Well, the super secret side piece is ones that I've almost finished already painting. So not that secret anymore. Okay. Then we are going to do... We'll do Gilly Dew, which is brilliant yellowish green. So that'll be nice for a sort of tourmaline, greenstone, agate, possibly some sort of sapphire. Extra wash my brush, because going from red being on your brush to yellow is asking for trouble. Okay. Oops, sorry, I was half off screen, wasn't I? I do more green gems around this dude. I don't know why. He just feels like he's an emerald guy, like he'd have a lot of emeralds around him. No idea why that should be the case, but... Oh, and that shall be a jade bangle. Okay, and now I'll do the green on the rest of them. And for the rest, again, I'm just doing 1 or 2 in each thing as green. Oh, we could do another jade bangle, couldn't we? Can you hear the bird song in the background? Don't know, my window's closed, so it might not come across. Hey, Cyrus! Welcome in! I just remember a villain folk in the original Teen Titans. Huh. I have never seen Teen Titans. Carrie Ann Law, yep, Sounds of Spring, yes. Yes. Oh, and Stretch, good point, because I never do I? His name is Mad Mob, and his whole mimic is he's British. Huh. Teen Titans. Is that like a... I have no idea. My brain went to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because that is another show that I have not watched and has teen in it. And I'm sure that that is where their similarities end. Well, we'll do green next to a red because red and green often pop when they're next to each other. Very festive. Yenny VDK, how are you doing? How is life treating you? How's Grayson? That is tiny. It is, isn't it? It is. Yep. Having to do a lot of minuscule painting. But it does look really nice when it's done. Been busy, but nice to see you online. Hey, you even remembered the pronunciation on the second go. Nice to see you online. Thank you. It's nice to have you here. It's nice to be online again. Yeah. Grayson is as spoiled as ever. Yes. Good. I wouldn't have it any other way. We might be getting a foster dog in a few weeks, I believe. So that'll be exciting. We shall have another woofer. Okay. That was the Ghillie Dew. I guess while I've still got green on my brush, I might as well do the next green. Oh, what breed? Well, they've changed it a couple of times. It was going to be a sausage dog. Then I think now it's going to be a spaniel. And apparently it's a spaniel that chews a lot of things and no soft furnishing is safe. So they are absolutely not allowed in my bedroom because there is a lot of magnets and whatnot. That's going to be a handful. Yes, it is. Thankfully, we've only got them for a week, so it's just to keep them out of kennels while their proper fosterers are away. And we should be doing more long-term fostering in the spring. Theoretically. as this guy is, in my opinion, the guy with all the green gems. Oh, look at that. This is shamrock green, and that is a nice colour for a gemstone. I really like that as a gemstone. That's a really nice colour. Might just... yeah, I like that. It looks brighter in real life, I have to say. As I say, I just feel like this guy needs lots of emeralds around him. Why? I don't know. I just feel like it should be so. Okay. Have to be careful not to put this bright green on any of the big gems because I want to use a different colour. Like, I feel like I might be using a lot of green at the moment. Yeah, no, you're never going to get that with your nail, are you? Awesome green colour. Is that metallic? It's not metallic. It's a shamrock green speed paint. So with these, they started as primed black. Then I did a dark grey dry brush, like a sloppy dry brush. Then a white dry brush over the top to pick out the detail. And then after doing the gold, I then picked out the gems with white and then started doing the speed paint layers. And then with the speed paint on the gems, it just makes them glow really nicely. That is a handy tool with a magnet. Thank you. I made it. I found a bit of wood on my desk and a magnet on the floor, and I used super glue to stick them together. And it's actually been really handy. Whoops. Do that little gemstone there. No, this already has 2 green ones. I'm not going to put another on there. What about this one? We'll put one green one here, shall we? Leave it there. And then this one, we'll put another green one. It's a nice bright green, isn't it? Those are the best tools. Yes, agreed. Agreed. No, we're going to leave it. Are we going to leave it there for the green? I think we are. We are. For now, even though it is a lovely green, and I kind of wish I'd started with this one before I did the Gilly Dew, but that's fine. There you go. Vit, if I'm recommending a green, I'm recommending Shamrock Green to you. There we go. I'll put that over there so I remember. Okay. Then let's start with some sapphires. Oh, I'll just get the paint off my hand. Okay. We shall start for the sapphires with Raging Sea. Which I believe is... oh, maybe it wasn't the one I did for this gem in before. Maybe that was Caribbean Ocean. Oh well. Whoop. that's a darker gemstone than I was expecting. But that's okay. We have a big sapphire. Oops, sorry, was I holding it off screen? I am listening. Shamrock green, raging sea for sapphires. Well, that's what I've done for these sapphires. But hang on, I'm going to do one more. And then we are going to try a different blue. Because this is like fine for sapphires. But I feel like the other blue was even better. Let's see, let's see. Some amethyst would be nice. We shall be doing amethyst. What was the ruby? The ruby was poppy red. Okay. Let's do this gem as Caribbean. Oops. Just wash that off first. Yeah, so that's Caribbean Ocean. So, the dark blue gem, Raging Sea. The paler blue sapphire is Caribbean Ocean. Do a pale blue. Here, why not? I do wonder if I maybe went a bit overboard on the green on that guy. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe a bit too much paint on that one. There we go. See, that's one thing I really do appreciate with the speed paints is, I don't know if you can see, but all the different facets of the gem, like are darker on the inside, paler on the outside. So you can see the gem like angles. Caribbean Ocean, lighter blue sapphire. Yes. Do this. Okay. Just wondering. Now, we'll leave it for now. We can always come back and do more. Much harder to take stuff off, eh? So, let's have a look at some sapphires. Nope, amethysts. We've just done the sapphires. You could see it really well on the bigger emerald with the other guy. That's true, yes. Yes. Okay, let's see how this purple shows out. Bum, bum, bum. Just wash my brush. Okay. Should we just go crazy and try the big one? I think we should go crazy and just try the big one. See what happens. Let's do this. Oh god, I hope I like it in the end. I'm just going to hold it this way up because I think it was very close to going onto the gold. Just hold it that way. Okay. I think that's nice. Video frozen. Oh, just you, sorry. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it looks fine my end. Oh no, just when we're doing the amethyst that you asked for. Oh, that is unfortunate. That's gorgeous. Hey, it's a nice colour, isn't it? I like it. Too much purple on my brush there. Thinking of doing that one as like a big orange gem or something. See. Hey, it restarted, it works. Maybe? Turquoise? Yes. I'll have a look and see if I've got one that could do turquoise. Before I do that, I do want to do like a pink one. What pink gemstone it is, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Well, I guess you can get pink quartz, but it's not normally so bright. But yeah, I wouldn't mind trying the pink next. And then I can have another look at turquoise. Oh, pink, orange, then turquoise. Okay. Oh, hang on. I just spot that the purple didn't quite go over the edge there. Now it has. There we go. Better. Okay. We shall put the purple aside for now. Rose quartz, yes. Let's see what happens. Familiar pink. Oops, sorry, I'm not sure if I moved that with my hand or just... Familiar pink. Nice. A bit bright for rose quartz maybe, but I do like having a nice bright pink gem. Makes me happy. So we'll put a paler pink one there. That can be the rose quartz. I really do need to do some orange because amber is a thing. Carmeline? Is that a gemstone? Is that a pink gemstone? Or have I just made up a word? One of the two. Carmeline, brown, orange, red, caramel. Maybe. Maybe. It sounds like probably not, but maybe. But I like the pink. It's bright. Nice. Oops, maybe I don't put them so far back. There we go. There are orange sapphires. Maybe if we had a geology page open, I will do that for next time. Orange, that's what I was going for. So, we have oops. Things going flying is what we have. Maybe, because I know you can get sapphires that are yellow and green and all of that. Because one of my friends, their family owns a sapphire mine, Australians. And he showed me some of the sapphires that come out like a sort of rock collection. And there were so many different colours. So many. Okay, we shall do an orange of Nuclear Sunrise, which I assume is going to be like a really vivid amber. I wouldn't say it's really vivid, but maybe I had a bit too much. Maybe I still had water on my brush. No. It is orange. Maybe that needs a second coat. Maybe it just was watery. It does look better for a second coat, I'll give it that. What? They own a sapphire mine? Yeah, but that doesn't mean you're rich. Like, selling expensive things does not mean you yourself can afford them or have the money for it. So he came from a mining family, but he was working, so I met him because he was running the makerspace when I first started Modular Realms, where I did all the prototyping. But yeah, I thought it was super cool that they had like a sapphire mine, like a mine for sapphires. It sounds so badass. And he was very knowledgeable about geology. Or at least certainly about sapphires in geological terms. Really nice guy. Would recommend. Would recommend? That sounds wrong, doesn't it? I meant as a friend. That sounded weird. I do apologise. Does this have any amber? Did I put amber on this? Did we see any amber? I don't see any. I'm gonna... In that case, this should be an amber armband. I play and stream Minecraft. It sounds badass indeed. Yes. Do you know, I've never once played Minecraft. Never played it in my life. Nope, I've just done that one, haven't I? I think we will call it there for the orange. Well, I'll just add a bit of extra onto that arm. Or ring, or whatever it is. Okay. Oh, that's right. We should do yellow. Of course. Now I do wonder how well it will show up amongst the gold, but we'll give it a go. Ancient Honey is the name of this yellow. Oh, not bad. Definitely enough to stand out a bit. In fact, I'm going to do these yellow. Didn't mean to go quite so over the edge, but that's fine. Any here that... Oh, is this one done in terms of gemstones? I believe it is. Okay, I shall put that to the side. That now, those to the left are the done with gemstones ones. Make a massive yellow one. Wonder if I put a bit of yellow, just a smidge, that make it brighter? Maybe. No more gemstones. Do that a nice bright yellow. And now no more gemstones. What do you think about... Should I do that one yellow or a different colour? I wonder. Swarf06. Hey, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. We are painting... So these are different treasure sets. So they came as part of my third Kickstarter, but they're modelled by Bad Squiddo Games. Annie, she's lovely. Another British manufacturer. Or manufacturer? Shop. She works with a manufacturer to get them made. Are you a player or a DM? Ah, would be that I am a player, but alas, well, not alas, but I am a forever DM. And I love DMing, I really do. I would like to be a player sometimes, but yeah. I love it, Minecraft. It's such a creative outlet to build pretty things. Yes, and I'm much better at it than painting. Yes, I use Valheim a bit like that. As a creative outlet to build things. I don't know. Could make it yellow. I need that colour. For my D&D character, Ilya Honeywood's honey drop pendant. Hey! Her pendant is her druidic focus and was made from the amber of her home's honeywood trees. That is lovely. I love that. That's a nice bit of lore. Oh well, should we do it? We should do this one yellow in honour of Ilya Honeywood. Was it Ilya Honeywood? Yes. Ha 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 ha. Do I know how a Hexblade Warlock works? Not really, I'm afraid. Not really. I have never played one, and I have never had anyone at my tables who play it, so I've never really had the need to go and look it up. What colour should we do that one? I kind of want that to be a red. Okay, I think I'm done with the yellow for now. So we'll put it on the lid. Because I'm playing as a player for the first time and I've only been a DM 3 times. Oh, you're new! Oh, fantastic. Oh, I love playing. I think you'll enjoy it. Well, it depends. What kind of DM do you have? Well, I suppose you might not know yet. I am now going to use Beowulf Blue, which is basically a dark blue. Also useful for sapphires, but I am going to use it on that box to make it a sort of, I imagine, a dark blue leathery chest. I'm worried about his knowledge on D&D. Well, is he the sort of person that doesn't mind, like, looking up the rules as you go? Because I find I rarely... There's... Perhaps on a good day, I know 95% of the rules of D&D. But even when I'm DMing, it's rare that I know all of the rules and have them in my head and don't need to look anything up. Usually there's a bit of looking up involved. Or a hand wave rule of cool, we'll look it up after game to find out for later. For next time sort of thing. Be careful not to paint over the yellow as I go around these guys. Oof. I don't know, he hardly knows anything. Oh, well. Hopefully he's okay with looking it up. Hopefully... it's hard, because you never want to be backseat DM'd, but especially when I was starting DMing, I was usually quite... As long as you had players that, like, respectfully told you the rules or helped you out when you got confused, it was always pretty handy for me, so... Perhaps if he's a similar person, you can fulfill that role for him. But always respecting the rules that the DM is the final arbitrator. Because there's nothing worse than, like, if you're a DM and you've got all this cool stuff planned and you've been spending ages on it and then it devolves into, like, a bunch of people telling you that you're doing it wrong, and then it can get very sad very quickly after that. But if it's done tactfully, hopefully it's really helpful. Do you know what? I'm going to make this a dark blue sapphire. No, I said it was going to be a ruby. It'll be a ruby. It'll be a ruby. We'll make this band at the back a sapphire. Nice. I'm just wondering, maybe we'll do dark blue on the top here, even if... Yeah. Nice. Hey, thank you for the lurk. Okay. Oh, I know. I like this. So this is Murder Scene, black, purplish, red. And it is quite dark. I'm going to do it on this one, because I really liked that before. Although last time I really liked the colour, so I did a whole bunch of gems that colour. And the thing was, you couldn't really see much because it was a bit too dark. But I think doing a chest like that in this colour, and possibly even the handle of that warhammer. Let us see. Yeah, this is where I need a bigger brush to be doing this, where you're covering like a large area and you want to do it quickly so the paint, you know, has time to spread and stuff. This is where I need a bigger brush. Can you see what I mean about it being a beautiful colour but quite dark? It's a gorgeous sort of burgundy-ish. But if you're doing individual gems, I would recommend watering it down. Yeah, definitely need a different brush. That's okay. We can make do. Nice. Well, I like it. Might not be everyone's cup of tea, I don't know, but I like it. And I am going to do it on this hammer's hammer's handle. There. Looks nice, but you see what I mean about it being a bit dark. I want to do more handles this colour, but I am going to not. Oh, sorry, I noticed that I've gone a bit. There we go. Okie dokie. Oh yes, I was going to make that a ruby, but rather than poppy red, I had a different red. What's this one? Carmine Dragon. Right. Well, shall we do a Carmine Dragon ruby? I don't know what a carmine is. Carmine? Not sure. But we shall make this Carmine Dragon Red ruby. Well, it doesn't have to do the facets quite the same as that one, but it could be because I didn't put as much red on it. I have spilt a whole bunch all down my fingers, but that's okay. What if I put a little bit extra? Is that gonna do those? Yeah. Ish. Not really. It's fine. Doesn't really look all that different from poppy red, if I'm honest. Well, let's give this knife a red handle and see if it looks different to poppy red there. Honestly, I would say that they look very, very similar. If you're still here and you're thinking of buying two different reds, I would not recommend you get poppy red and carmine dragon because they look very, very similar to me. Okay. Okay, let's see. For the pots, brownish orange fire drake. Let us see, because I imagine that could be a sort of terracotta. We will find out. Let us find out. I would say that's just as good for wood as anything else. Nice though, definitely works for pottery, I'd say. Hey. I think that's not bad for a pot, to be honest. I like that one. Well, I tell you what, we've still got a little bit... Oh, hang on. I will just do this hourglass. Oh, cool. Can you hear that's my stomach rumbling in the background? Don't mind it. I should probably have lunch soon. Lunch? What time is it? 5, kind of lunchtime. It's lunchtime somewhere. Nice. Well, I am going to leave it there for today. And why don't we finish these off tomorrow? How about that? Yes, we shall finish these tomorrow. Thank you everyone that has come along for the stream. Really appreciate it. Thank you, VOD Squad. I see you, Scar. And anyone else that's on VOD Squad. By the way, if anyone else wants like shout outs at the end of VOD Squad, because I know people watch it, but I don't know who. If you're of the mind, let me know in Discord, because I'd love to know. But anyway, I will see you guys again probably tomorrow. Hey, Lumero! Hey, thank you. Oh, Fit, I'm sorry. Oh, just as I'm going, I'm so sorry. I'm literally just saying my goodbyes. Well, I will see you later / tomorrow. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you, Carrie Ann. It was so nice to see you. Oh, wait. There we go. Wrong button. Bye.